On the contrary, when they saw that the gospel for the uncircumcision had been entrusted to me, and this is key here, be careful, because there are people that think that this is just another chapter. There are mysteries hidden here, as the gospel of the circumcision was to Peter. So for the one having worked in Peter for the apostleship of the circumcision, also worked in me towards the Gentiles. There is dividing nations. To Peter, the circumcision, to Jews. Peter had no business with the Gentiles, as they named him the first pope for the Gentile nations. He had no business there. He snuck in. Sneaky. Also worked in me towards the Gentiles, said Paul, and recognizing the grace that I had been given, James, which is Jacob, Cephas, which is Peter, and John, those reputed to be pillars, gave me and Barnabas the right hand of fellowship, so that we should go to whom? To the Gentiles, and they to whom? To the Jews. Those are circumcision. Because the 2,000 years of deception is exactly to keep people distant from these words, because these words are dividing two nations. It's dividing the Jews from the Gentiles. So it is not convenient for those topics to abound. Have you seen these great crusades? These people speaking of this revelation? No, they speak of healing and that Jesus went by and that power came out of the robe. And if you exercise your faith in this handkerchief and this oil or this water when you drink it, people are always using symbolism, but they never arrive to the revelation. They get profound in the shore. They don't get nowhere. Those great crusades is to play with their feelings and with miracles, but people are not educated. And then if you tell them something, they say, no, studies are for the church, but they don't study in churches, nor do they in these crusades. Their studies, I've seen them, these renowned evangelists, they know nothing. They don't even know what they affirm. So then you and I, we don't need to make an emotional show here. What we need to do is to affirm ourselves in the word of grace. But to affirm yourself in the word of grace, we need to know these terminologies. Here it's presented in this chapter that Peter, James, and John recognize Paul as the man to the Gentiles. If an evangelical today can reason a little bit, he would notice that whom needs to speak to the Gentiles is Paul. But what happens that they begun to write books. When they killed Paul, the other books appeared, like James, 1st, 2nd of Peter, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of John, Jude, and Revelation, right? Jude and Revelation. Those are books that have a spirit of the circumcision. That is why the books in which you should soak yourself in are the books from Romans to Hebrews.